Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Christian Eriksen could be offered the chance to finish his career at Ajax if the Dane leaves Manchester United this summer, the club's sporting director has revealed. The midfield maestro is out of contract at the end of the season and would be available on a free transfer. Eriksen, 33, started his senior career with Ajax after initially joining the Dutch Giants youth setup. He went on to make 162 appearances in total and won Eredivisie 3 times before being lured to the Premier League by Tottenham back in the summer of 2013. The former Inter Milan star is expected to be on the move at the end of a frustrating 2024-25 campaign, having featured just 14 times in all competitions for United since Ruben Amorim's arrival in November. And Marijn Buker, Ajax's sporting director, has confirmed that conversations have taken place internally at the club about making a play to bring Eriksen back home. He is one of the players who has performed fantastically with us in the past that we are thinking about, he told ESPN. There will be multiples in the media. Other names mentioned are those of Dusan Tadic and Daley Blind. Such players are always an option. To look at it. It has to fit into the phase we are in though, in the salary structure. You also don't want to block youth players coming up. That we are open to thinking about it is clear, only it has to fit into the overall picture for the future. While Manchester United are currently languishing in the bottom half of the Premier League table, Ajax are enjoying a fine season under Francesco Farioli and are 9 points clear of PSV Eindhoven at the Eredivisie summit as they close in on what would be a 37th domestic title. Speculation over Eriksen's future has been rife in recent weeks after he recently confirmed to Dutch outlet TV2 that he had heard nothing over a new contract at Old Trafford. Eriksen said, "I haven't been told anything, and since I haven't, I assume the collaboration will end. That's how I interpret it. Everyone knows my contract is expiring, so I expect there's only one way this will go. I haven't thought much about it. In my mind, I'm prepared to find something new. What that will be, I haven't decided yet. I don't have anything specific that I really want to try, so I'll see what comes along and what fits me and my family." Manchester United co-owner Ineos and New Zealand Rugby have announced a settlement has been reached in their sponsorship contract dispute. It comes after NZR, responsible for the All Blacks team, launched legal action in February. They took action against Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos after accusing the chemicals firm of failing to pay the first 2025 instalment of a 6-year deal. Ineos at the time said it had looked to adjust its sponsorship, with it having to implement cost-saving measures due to the impact of high energy costs and extreme carbon taxes on its European businesses. A joint statement from the organisations late on Monday read, "New Zealand Rugby and Ineos can confirm that a settlement has been reached between the two parties. Whilst the details remain confidential, both organisations are satisfied with the outcome and acknowledge a desire to now move forward." Ineos, which took charge of footballing operations at United in February last year, struck the deal with NZR in 2021. NZR's statement in February read, "New Zealand Rugby is disappointed that Ineos has breached its sponsorship agreement. Most recently, it failed to pay the first instalment of the 2025 sponsorship, confirming its decision to exit our 6-year agreement. Having learned of Ineos's decision to walk away 3 years early, we have moved to protect the interests of New Zealand Rugby and the wider game. We have been left with no option but to launch legal proceedings to protect our commercial position." Ineos's subsequent statement read, "Trading conditions for our European businesses have been severely impacted by high energy costs and extreme carbon taxes, along with much of the chemicals industry in Europe, which is struggling or shutting down. We are witnessing the deindustrialization of Europe. As a result, we have had to implement cost-saving measures across the business. We sought to reach a sensible agreement with the All Blacks to adjust our sponsorship in light of these challenges. Unfortunately, rather than working towards a managed solution, New Zealand Rugby have chosen to pursue legal action against their sponsor." Marcus Rashford's Manchester United teammate Alejandro Garnacho showed support for the forward after scoring his first goals on loan at Aston Villa. The England international netted a brace against Preston in Villa's 3-0 FA Cup quarter-final win to finally get off the mark. It has been a tough time for Rashford after being frozen out of Manchester United's squad by Ruben Amorim following a fallout between the pair. The 27-year-old was questioned over his training performances and attitude after the Portuguese coach said he could not pick a player who did not give the maximum. Rashford, who earns around £325,000 a week in his deal at Old Trafford, was eventually granted a loan move to Villa Park until the end of the season and has been a relative success so far. He now has 2 goals and 4 assists under new boss Unai Emery, who has started him in 7 out of 11 games since he linked up with the Midlands outfit. His improved form has led to a recall to the England squad, and his 2-goal salvo against Preston underlined the momentum he is enjoying as he posted a picture of his day out. He captioned the picture, "I am buzzing to finally get my first Villa goals and help the team progress to the semi-finals. Happy Mother's Day and Eid Mubarak to everybody around the world celebrating." Rashford's United teammate Garnacho replied to him using 2 emojis, appearing to gesture towards Rashford's signature headpoint celebration. The pair played together for 3 full seasons, with both players often featuring on either flank or rotated under the leadership of both Erik Ten Hag and Amorim. Talk will now turn to Rashford's future as Villa decide on whether to activate their £40 million option to sign him permanently at the end of the season. When asked about what decision Villa will make on Rashford after his brace against Preston, Emery said, "Not yet," said Emery, when asked if a decision on Rashford had been made. "The most important thing is the challenge now and this afternoon, recovering and then preparing for the match against Brighton tomorrow. A decision about each individual players. It is to get the best of them and the best of us. We don't want to waste time thinking about it." Manchester United are set for a busy summer transfer window as Ruben Amorim looks to revamp his squad. The Red Devils have endured a disappointing season so far and currently sit 13th in the Premier League. Erik Ten Hag was sacked mere months after United sanctioned a major spending spree of more than £200 million last summer that saw Joshua Zirkzee, Lenny Yoro, Matthijs de Ligt, Noussair Mazraoui and Manuel Ugarte join the club. Since then, just 2 permanent signings have been made under Amorim's watch, with teenage prospect Aiden Heaven joining from Arsenal and wing-back Patrick Dorgu signing from Lecce. United CEO Omar Barada has said the club will back Amorim this summer, but they will also need to offload some players due to the Premier League's strict profit and sustainability rules. Reports have suggested that Andre Onana's spot as first-choice goalkeeper is in doubt after some major errors, but Amorim appears to have faith in the 28-year-old and has publicly defended him. It seems as though other areas are viewed as higher priorities, with Everton defender Jared Branthwaite having reportedly been made their top target. Branthwaite would likely slot in alongside Yoro and de Ligt in a back 3. Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire and Heaven are also options, while the likes of Victor Lindelof and Johnny Evans are expected to leave when their contracts expire. Mazraoui and Dorgu are expected to continue as wing-backs, with Diogo Dalot and Luke Shaw providing cover. Ugarte looks to be finding his feet in midfield and will likely be a key part of Amorim's plans moving forward, having previously played under him at Sporting. However, there are doubts over the futures of Bruno Fernandes, Kobbie Mainoo, Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. Eriksen is set to leave when his deal expires in the summer, while United could be forced to sell Mainoo amid a contract dispute. Captain Fernandes, meanwhile, has emerged as a £90 million target for Real Madrid, and United could be tempted to cash in. And Amorim could use those funds to partner Ugarte with Morten Hjulmand and launch a raid on his former club Sporting. Reports have claimed the midfielder is a serious target, and United believe they could get him for around £50 million. Ahmad was arguably United's best player under Amorim until he suffered a serious ankle injury in February, but the 22-year-old will likely slot back into the starting lineup next season when he returns to full fitness after signing a new long-term contract. United have been linked with a move for Oscar Gluck, with reports claiming he is viewed as a potential successor for Fernandes, and the 20-year-old could feature alongside Ahmad as one of Amorim's 2 number 10s. Rasmus Højlund and Xerxes have failed to make much of an impact so far this season, managing just 6 league goals between them, and Victor Osimhen has emerged as a target. Osimhen looks to have no future at Napoli after he was shipped out on loan to Galatasaray, and there has been talk of a potential swap deal involving Højlund.